trouble. Never many called you, baby. I'm the one time, so you left me. Only want to see you laugh in that purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only wanna see you laughing there, purple rain.
Oh, the musical genius that was Prince. May his soul rest in musical peace. Good evening and welcome to Trends with me, Refilwe Mwilwa, on the SABC News channel. If showbiz news is your thing, then of course you're tuned into the right channel at the right time. We have plenty in store for you, from art to music to fashion and more. And let us know what's going down in entertainment in your area. You can tweet us. Our Twitter handle is @Trendz on SABC. And of course, the world of music is in shock and mourning as news spread that one of the greatest musical geniuses and pioneers, Prince, has passed away. Fans of US superstar Prince gathered for a candlelight vigil in Los Angeles after the news of his death quickly spread. Born Prince Rogers Nelson, the singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer and actor, was renowned as an innovative pop superstar and pioneer, widely known for his eclectic work, flamboyant stage presence, with mega hits like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry and Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
His influential genre-defying music blended jazz, funk, R&B, disco and rock, winning him 7 Grammy Awards and an Oscar. According to the Carver County Sheriff's Office, Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator at his Paisley Park Studios compound, which included his home in the Minneapolis suburb of Chanhassen. In a transcript of a 911 call made from the complex and released by the Sheriff's Office, an unidentified male initially reported that someone was dead at the home, later identifying him as Prince. The Sheriff's Office said it was investigating the circumstances. The performer's death was the most notable passing of a music giant since rock star David Bowie died of cancer at 69 on January 10, 2016.
Iconic Malian photographer Malik Sidibe has died. The 80-year-old leaves behind a lifetime of work that chronicled his country's journey after independence through social and political change using black and white shots. Have a look.
Mali this week bid a final farewell to Malik Sidibe, an award-winning photographer considered a national treasure for depictions of his West African homeland's post-colonial period. From humble beginnings in Mali's capital, Bamako, Sidibe rose over the course of a career that spans 6 decades to become one of Africa's most decorated artists. Sidibe's instantly recognizable images from the 1950s and 60s of sharply dressed teenagers twisting on nightclub dance floors or mugging for the camera in bathing suits captured Mali's transformation from a French colony to modern independent nation. In the process, he shattered stereotypes of Africa and connected it with the rest of the world. His son remembered his father as a humble man and whose work has made a big impact around the world.
He was a photographer for over 60 years, and he was one of the rare photographers who managed to archive all the pictures from the time he began photography until his death. He was very meticulous and managed to document all time in Mali before and after independence.
Sidibe meticulously archived his photographs, and he had already accumulated a sizable body of work when his art began gaining international recognition in the 1990s. His many admirers remember him as a talent whose images depicting popular culture in Mali still resonate among young photographers across Africa.
He is the one who showed us all the power of photography by documenting certain moments of our history and culture, and through that, people can recover those times. He was also genius in sharing his talent.
Malik représente sur le plan social un vieux monsieur très.
For many photographers, he wasn't just a reference. He was an institution, a way of life.
C'est plus qu'une référence, c'est une école, c'est un mode de vie. Malik, ce qu'il a fait pour le Mali déjà au Mali.
What he did for Mali was to show a different and modern face of Mali.
Après les indépendances, les gens ne pouvaient pas s'imaginer que le Mali était un pays aussi moderne. La jeunesse malienne écoutait du rock.
After independence, people could not believe that Mali was such a modern country.
Ces moments inoubliables de la jeunesse malienne en action.
In 2007, he became both the first photographer and the first African to win the Venice Biennale's Lifetime Achievement Award. He was also honored with the Hasselblad Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Center of Photography and World Press Photo Prize.
May his soul rest in peace. Now, 99% Zulu comedy is back by popular demand. The spectacle will be returning to Gold Reef City this coming Thursday, the 28th of April. And the main acts, Fiso Nene, will be supported by Sianda Mapumulo, Siasea, Mondli Mzizi, and Amawele Ase Chesterville. The host is none other than local and popular Vernac comedian Skumba Shope. And now in our Durban studios, I'm joined by Monwabisi Grootman, who is part of the people who are bringing us this comedy fest. Welcome to Trendz, Monwabisi.
Hi, Refilwe. Thanks for having us at Trendz.
A pleasure. Now, tell us about what people have said since last year to make you know that, you know what, this time, this year, you have to go bigger and better than it was before.
Many things. Oh, gosh. The show, when it first started way back in Durban, it grew and grew and grew into a number of other parts in the country. And when we first brought it to Johannesburg, people, it really was standing ovation material. And also the other thing is that we're bringing artists that people in Johannesburg are not used to, or maybe they have not seen before.
Right.
And so people get to appreciate that a whole lot more. And that's why even this time around, we thought people like Amawela Chesterville, which will be the first outfit.
Tell us a little bit about what we can expect. I mean, their name is just so different. You're like, okay, are they twins for real? Or, okay, but what is their repertoire like?
They are identical twins. Actually, you can never tell the difference between the two of them.
Really?
They are very funny.
Equally funny.
They are coming to Joburg. Very, very funny. Very funny. They are young boys. They just finished school.
Okay.
And but they have started comedy a while back when we started 99% Zulu as a project. But they took a break because they needed to finish school. But they've been performing, all throughout. But they're really, really, really funny. It will be the first stand-up comedy outfit in South Africa that is performed by twins at the same time, simultaneously on stage, and they are really, really awesome. People will be exposed to new talent. The Sianda Mapumulo is always a showstopper in Johannesburg, and people love him, and we brought him for the first time. The Siasea, people will be seeing him for the first time from Cape Town.
Okay.
He is absolutely, absolutely awesome, as well.
Fantastic. And how big is the comedy scene in Durban, for example? And are you taking this around the country after leaving Johannesburg next week? All right. Tell us about that.
We're going to a number of places. We are going to Mpumalanga in May, in Secunda, then we're out in Port Elizabeth and East London. Then we're back in Durban for the Durban July comedy special that we always have annually. So the calendar is quite, packed, but the response of comedy in Durban since we started 99% Zulu, it is really, really positive. I mean, if without the what we call without the platform that we've been provided by the people of Durban for us to showcase and do what we love best, I don't think we'll be able to do the shows nationally. In fact, I don't think that people will receive the shows in the way they have, nationally, because of the love we got in KZN.
Okay, and with you, Monwabisi, I mean, are you, you are the event organizer, but are you also a comedian, maybe a comedian in hiding? You have a hidden dream maybe to one day just go up on stage and also, wow people.
my kids tell me I'm funny.
Right.
But
they're biased.
And they are, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But I laugh. I love to laugh a lot. And I'm not a comedian, certainly.
Okay.
My wife is a better comedian than I am.
Is it? But as people
really,
say, I mean, a lot of comedians that I've spoken to, they always say, comedy is not a joke. It's just in how you present it. But as we've seen, the kind of content that is delivered on stage with comedians, it's actual real-life things that everyone is going through, you know what I mean?
And it's things that everybody has an opinion about.
Right.
And not only do they have opinion of those things, they also, it's stuff that they wouldn't be comfortable talking about it in public. And so the comedians help them. And comedians really, in fact, we've had many times where people will say, can you talk about this, or do you have material about this person or about that issue, and so on. Okay. And it helps guide even the relevance of comedians on stage.
One gripe, sorry to cut you there, but one gripe that I definitely will have with you. Years later, we cannot have Celeste still being, the queen of Zulu comedy. I'm sure there are others who are younger, who are in Durban, who are up and coming, who want to be on a stage such as, 99 Zulu% comedy. So where are they?
Look, one of the biggest problems South Africa has as a country, women are just, I don't know what, they either are scared.
Watch your words carefully. You're talking to us.
I know. I know. Women just... In fact, around the country, I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, comedians in the country, you can count them with one hand, the female comedians. Yeah. And
it's an issue. It's an issue, and we have.
I mean, Celeste. Celeste we began her career. We started with her in 2006. All the way, we've been working with her until she has now the superstar that she is.
No, she's absolutely fantastic. But next year, please, I'm going to call you in January to say, Monobisi, what is going on with the lineup? Do we have at least one female who will be part of the lineup? Thank you so very much for your time,
Thank you very much.
And I'm
really
sure it'll be packed at the Lyric Theatre next week.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much to Trendz again for the opportunity.
It's a pleasure. And now stay tuned. Trendz is back after the break with a whole lot more. Welcome back to Trendz. Freedom Day is celebrated differently in hip-hop circles in Johannesburg. Newtown will this year commemorate the day with the youth celebrating through dance, DJing, MCing, beatboxing and skateboarding and actually more. And this year, 3 surprise international hip-hop acts will grace the stage at this year's Back to the City Hip-Hop Festival. The event has also, though, had a lot of rants and a bit of beef and controversy where Mr. Super Mega himself, aka, decided to pull out of the event. Now, to discuss the beef and, of course, the fanfare, I'm now joined by event founder Osmic Menwe to tell us more. Welcome to the show, Osmic.
Thank you for having me onto the show.
Do we start with the good, the bad, the ugly? Let's get the beef out the way. What's going on with AKA? Yeah.
Look, man, we family.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on.
No, man, that cannot be. That cannot be because Twitter's been going crazy, the press releases, but, is a beef that can be solved? What actually is his issue?
Well, I think, look, yes, he's a star. And everyone else is a star,
sure.
Yeah. So we try obviously treat everyone equal, so to speak. And obviously he felt that he needed a bit of, special attention, which, according to our press release, for those that have read it, we were already giving him that,
Right.
So it was a very confusing thing for us to for that to happen. Everyone knows it happened. I was in a meeting and then I saw myself trending and the festival was trending and I'm like, why am I trending?
What happened? Yeah, yeah. But you've had a long relationship with AKA and, in hip-hop circles.
Yeah.
You are known, the guys know you. And so is it a case of, okay, this year maybe he's got issues, but come next year, he'll be back on the lineup. You'll reach out to him and say, hey, man, let's, get over the small issues and look at the bigger picture.
Obviously, for those that have always been following, you know, the two things, me and him, it's been years, you know what I'm saying? But look, I love the guy. I'm a fan more than anything. I think I was one of the guys in the beginning instrumental to helping him, you know? So yeah, man, I'm hoping in time he'll come around, but there's definitely no beef on our end, you know?
Okay, well,
I got all his CDs and his vinyls, so.
Yeah, one down, there's a whole lot more artists. Let's talk about them. Oh my gosh, this year looks crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this year's our 10th year, you know, and
I like the hashtag, family reunion.
Family reunion.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the whole thing is, you know, going back to the AKA thing, I always to say it to everyone. In hip-hop, we're all family, whether you like it or not, whether you're a dancer, a graffiti artist, we're all connected somehow because at some point in time, we either have run, you know, into each other, we've worked together, or we've collaborated on something, you know, and we decided, look, the festival this year would be a good platform, a good way to kind of look at where the culture has been in the past 10 years, the growth of the culture, hence the family reunion. So we've even got into a space where we started noticing a lot of people, for instance, people that came to the festival the first year or the second year are now coming back to the festival with like a wife and kid, and the guy had met the wife at the festival, and probably
maybe
the kid was consumed. Maybe, you know,
Okay, I get
you know,
you.
that's the whole point of the whole family reunion.
It's a whole culture. It's a lifestyle, you know.
That's true.
All right. And I mean, the Play 10K Challenge, can you tell us a little bit about the competition?
So the Play 10K Challenge is something very amazing because it's one of those platforms that it's almost like an enabler, you know, because you can see almost the future of the culture where it's going from the producers and to the MC. I mean, right now the producers are kind of dictating the direction of the sound, how these rappers sound.
What's great though nowadays is that they're coming into the fore more and more.
That's
Beforehand, they were, you know, the guys behind the scenes. Now it's so great. You see them in the music videos. They're doing interviews. They're out there because they are what actually made the song. You know, without their foundation, there's nothing.
And that's the whole purpose of actually that platform, to say on our second stage, which is called the Power Play stage, to kind of showcase and to highlight them, you know. So we're giving away those 10,000 rands. Another cool thing we have this year is our third stage, which is just strictly for live bands.
Oh, fantastic.
So we've put up like about 30,000 rand. It's mainly just bands coming together to battle for that 30,000 rand, you know.
Jeez.
So there's a whole lot of activities, you know. We've thrown
Let's talk about the international acts. Like drop a name, something. I know it's under wraps and stuff, but
well, it's out there now. Look, you know, obviously word was that we're gonna have 3 surprise international acts, you know, and you know, I felt like flexing a bit of a muscle, and I decided to make it 4. Okay. So we've got J Live, we've got Camplo. So for the oldie guys would know Camplo. We've got Elzai, which is another guy who's you know getting stronger and stronger. We've got Sky Zoo, who's also getting, you know. So we've got all these guys, and obviously another thing is the point of inviting these, you know, the Americans over, is to forge a relation between our local markets and international markets. And these are guys that have been able to kind of master their art form. They're still touring. A guy took out a song in you know, like 20 years ago, but he's still touring off it. He's still making a living off it.
And it's fantastic how younger artists, I mean, when it comes to the collabos, we've seen like your Double HPs, he had Nas, you know, Casper with Talib. It's so great when all of that happens. And of course, the sampling. I mean, hip-hop, it's you know, since time immemorial, it's been that genre that has taken elements from other, you know, genres, but, you know, the culture has, you know, gone on for many, many decades. As you say now, people are, you know, who are growing up on it are also raising their kids on it. You know what I mean? Fantastic. And so dates again, it's next week?
It's next week, Wednesday, which is 27th of April, Freedom Day, a very important time and date, you know. From 10 o'clock in the morning, we start off with the Hip Hop Summit at Museum Africa until 12:30. From 1 o'clock, the music starts, and this party is going to end at about 3 o'clock. You know, so
will it end? I think people will be partying well into the weekend.
That's it.
You know?
So make sure you take leave, man.
All right. And social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube?
Well, do follow us, man. Add Back to the City SA on Twitter to catch up on stuff. And if you need more information, because a whole lot of other stuff, we even giving away helicopter rides. We got a cool thing where you can take a helicopter ride around the city. You can go to the site, which is I nearly said SA Hip Hop Awards. www.backtothecityfestival.com. www.backtothecityfestival.com.
Thank you, Mr. Osmic Menred. Thank you for what you do for the art and for the culture.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now, from the beaches of Greece to the US-Mexico border and all over Europe, nothing is affecting our current times across the globe, such as migration. Now, a new art exhibition in Washington, D.C. is determined to show the inside story by displaying the works of dozens of migrant artists. Our correspondent Rebecca Foster visited Stories of Migration, an exhibition at George Washington University's Textile Museum, to learn how the story of migration and the diaspora is being told through cloth art.
For artist William Ajete Wilson, the story of migration is a personal one. Born to a French mother and a West African father, William turned to art to understand his personal history.
It was my first concern, to know more about who I am, especially because my father didn't want to talk about it. And in fact, I think that it has a big influence in my life, these secret things. And so it was important.
Inspired by an influential trip back to Africa during his late teenage years, William decided to create a series of 18 textiles telling the history of slave migration. His work, called The Black Ocean, spans 500 years of African history. And William says the effects of those actions are still being felt today.
This history is so present, it's not the past. Of course, we think about slavery, it seems very far, or colonization for Europe seems far. But in fact, there is many consequences right now.
William is not the only artist in this exhibition to touch on the issue of slavery and the forced migration of African peoples. Other creators explored the roles of slaves in the U.S. South, with images of cotton picking and hanging strands of darkened cotton. But the issue of migration is hardly confined to Africa's past. With the fast-paced exodus of people from Syria and other war-torn nations, Europe is facing a refugee crisis today. Artist Penny Mateer says this exhibition was the perfect opportunity to bring the plight of those people to light.
I think that art is vitally important in telling the stories of humankind. I think it is vitally important in telling the stories of what is happening in the refugee crisis, with migration, with questions of immigration. I believe I, as an artist, have a moral obligation to tell these stories. And one of my passions is hopefully that more artists will really start to think about creating work more along these lines.
And the U.S. is experiencing its own migration crisis, with illegal immigration between the U.S. and Mexico a contentious issue in this year's election campaign. Mexican-American artist Consuelo Jimenez Underwood grew up crossing the border. In her work, Consuelo uses flowers to show the unnaturalness of separating people by borders.
My work is to bring these flowers together to see what they can do in the DC area where they make policy. Can they do anything about their documentation? These flowers are not documented. They grow on both sides, the California poppy, the yucca from New Mexico, the saguaro from Arizona, and the Texas bluebonnet. They're all there. They don't have papers. They don't know what to do. They don't know what side to go on.
Museum curator Lee Talbot says when he and his colleagues began pulling this exhibition together 2.5 years ago, they had no idea migration would come to be the hot topic it is around the globe today.
I mean, it's something that we hear about in the news. We have contact every day with people who've come from different cultures and have come here for different reasons.
He says that every visitor can find a connection to the art on display.
All of us are diasporans. All of us have migrated from one place to another. It's a central part of human history.
With the migration crisis showing no sign of slowing down, this exhibit here in Washington is timely.
Curators say that the textile format is the best match to tell stories of migration. That's because cloths and fabrics like those on display today are relatively mobile and likely the only form of art that migrants could take with them when they moved. Rebecca Foster, SABC News, Washington.
Thank you, Rebecca Foster. Now, a young artist who has traded his colored paints for hair dye to create art pieces telling of his childhood is currently showcasing his works on the Mellow House Factory in Pretoria. Tato Sibeko's solo exhibition titled Dye My Memories has attracted large crowds of art lovers since it opened last week.
This exhibition, called Dye My Memories, takes us on a journey reflecting Tato Sibeko's life encounters. Through her dye, this 24-year-old paints his childhood memories as well as his present encounters. Family and friends have also made it to canvases.
Why is it titled Dye My Memories? Is because I used hair dye to actually create the artworks. And my memories is actually just to take you guys through the journey of my life. Dye was actually a new medium for me, an unconventional material, because I normally use very traditional art materials to actually create my works. So with this one, I actually had to come out of my comfort zone and use something that I haven't used before. So I combined the two, the medium that I used, which is dye, combined it with what story I want to tell with the artworks, which is actually my memories.
This solo exhibition is not the first for Sibeko. He has had a few under his name. In 2014, he had a group exhibition titled Lived Experiences. He has also exhibited in the Creative Melange exhibition at the St. Laurent Fashion and Art Gallery and the Creatures of Light exhibition for children. Most of his paintings may take up to 2 days to finish, depending on the size. And this is Sibeko's favorite portrait. It's called Cousins.
This is me when I was 5-6 years old with a cousin of mine, where we sort of grew apart. So, and we lived in the same house, in my grandma's house when I was growing up, throughout my toddler years. So it's my favorite piece.
Why is it your favorite?
The most memorable memories that I have is my childhood memories. So growing up with cousins, with my siblings, with my mom, my aunt, and my cousins also. Those are my memories for me that I hold closely to my heart.
So, if you're looking forward to having yourself dyed and brushed into one of Tato's portraits, it will set you back between 3,000 and 7,000 rand. This exhibition will be at the Mellow House until mid-May.
After the break, Trendz is back with more. Welcome back to Trendz. So newly crowned Miss South Africa, Ntando Kunene is a busy young lady. She recently spent the day at the Avalanche Ski School in Fourways on Wednesday to prepare for her ski trip to Austria coming up just shortly. Now this will be her first trip overseas and we will get to share this moment with her and her sister, Zama. Trendz was there and this is what went down.
Our reigning Miss South Africa, Ntando Kunene, is getting ready for her first trip abroad. And apart from all the things that she needs to prepare ahead of the trip, ski lessons had to be on the list. And because Trendz never misses out on anything, we're here to catch up with her. Hi Ntando, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
We are well, babe. Welcome to Trendz.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, your first trip and you're going to Austria. How do you feel about it?
I feel so excited. This is not even a holiday, it's an adventure. I'm so excited for it. As you can see, I'm practicing going up and down the slope, so I'm looking forward to it a lot.
How long are you going to be there? Give us the detail.
I'm going for 7 days. They have a whole itinerary planned out for me on what I'm going to do. So it's going to be an interesting time there, foreign land and foreign place, so it's going to be very nice. I never actually thought of Austria. Whenever I thought of overseas, I don't know, I never thought skiing. So this is more of an adventure for me. It's trying something new and getting to know more of myself. Can I learn something new? This is a sport. Some people take this as a sport, so now I'm learning that kind of sport and I'm looking forward to this adventure.
So what do you think is going to be up on your list after this?
After this, yeah. I did shark cage diving last year. I will not do any kind of bungee jumping, and this is skiing. I think what I'd like to do next is go swimming with the dolphin.
Tell us about what you've experienced throughout your journey so far.
My journey has been an absolute pleasure. It has been a learning curve for me, knowing that you were just a regular girl and now you Miss South Africa. It has been a learning curve, but I'm enjoying each and every moment of not only getting to know what Miss South Africa is about and what we do, but more of myself as well as a person and my contribution to society and how I want to carry out what I want to be remembered for.
We were at the launch of Take Your Girl Child, right? So tell us about the experiences of that and also studying in education and what it really means for you to be a part of that.
I love being a part of such initiatives where women are being put in the workplace, for them to experience this kind of, we all have dreams. So it's really important for you to go and experience that dream before actually working to it, because now you are dreaming in color. You know what it is that you're working towards, and such initiatives should be encouraged, that every other corporate does the exact same things, where they take girls into the workplace and they make them acquaint them with what is to come in the future.
What else can we expect from you when it comes to all the cash? And
oh yes, I'm excited to share that this year we're going to be doing, because I've got 200,000 worth of random acts of kindness from Sun International and South Sea. So it allows me for 1 year to be Mother Christmas, if I could put it like that, where you identify initiatives and with that 200,000 you chip in to say this is how I would like to help your cause. And I'm looking forward to that, and even the bursaries that I'm getting from the Varsity College, where I also get the opportunity to give out bursaries so that people can go to varsity and they don't have to struggle about registration or their monthly payments. So it's Miss South Africa giving back, and I feel like Mother Christmas.
Dando, thank you so much for speaking to us. We really hope that you enjoy the trip. Say goodbye to everybody in SA before you go to Austria.
Everyone in South Africa, goodbye. I'll see you in the next 7 days, and do stay tuned to my social media platforms. I'm going to be updating you on what I'm going to be doing in Austria. And just a huge great thank you to Dreams for this amazing opportunity for me to go to Austria and go skiing and try out new things. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Don't say we didn't give you the lowdown before everybody else, okay? Bye.
Bye.
This year's Lucitelland Festival is certainly going to be bigger and better than before, with over 160,000 partygoers attending. Now it'll be good vibes all the way. This is quite a special festival. All the proceeds go towards raising funds for the much-needed Lucito Association for mentally and physically challenged people. The festival goers will be swaying to the rhythms of Latin music and the energy of Portuguese folk dancers and singers. Now I'm joined in studio by Lucito Association Executive Committee Public Relations Officer Naomi Contente. Thank you. Welcome to Trendz.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure having you here. I mean, let's talk about this festival. And a lot of people might not even know what Lucito is all about. So please let's start from there.
Well, this is our main fundraiser of the year. And it's, as you said, it's to raise money to run the school, the mentally handicapped school. We've got 72 kids in the school. And it's quite a costly exercise.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so we fit in 75% of the bill to maintain the kid at the school, because the parents obviously cannot afford it.
Sure.
It costs 5,500 rand per child to be at the school.
Wow.
But
okay, and
have,
over the years,
yeah.
now let's talk about how basically the festival came to be, your yearly fundraiser, and of course, great performers that you have on the lineup. Yes.
Wonderful. We've got the top performers, as you know. I can mention some. Would you like me to mention? We've got Timo ODV tonight, Kurt Darren, Desmond and the Tutus, Ray Dillon, Mikaza, Lockenville, Dr. Victor and the Rasta Rebels, Chopper, who will be performing here this morning, which is very good.
He's been practicing and stretching,
wonderful.
He's ready to get on our stage.
And his band. Tresor, December Streets, the Bats Ballyhoo, together with our Portuguese singers and our folk dancers. So it's
fantastic.
Really
and that's just tonight. So the festival has already started, and when does it run until?
It runs until the 2nd of May.
Until the 2nd of May. Okay, so there's a good week to go, before it comes to a close. Fantastic. And just over the years, though, what's your goal this year? What ultimately would you like to raise in monetary-wise?
Well, as much as possible.
Okay.
You know what? We can never put a set
number.
Amount, but we do need the money. So as much as we can, because, there's improvements and there's a lot of costs. So improvements to the school, and maybe to increase the numbers, and maybe to do a boarding care.
Right.
We need the money. So as much as we can raise.
Sure.
We really look forward to that.
Okay. And where is the festival happening? I don't think we...
At Wemapan.
Yes.
We have it there every year, and been very successful, and we're having it there this year again.
Fantastic. And the school, let's talk about the school and just some of, the
Yes.
kids who were there. You said there's 72 kids.
Correct.
Age range?
No, we've got a variety of age range that's quite small, and we've got some that have hit 30.
Okay.
We do not let them go.
There is no cut-off?
No, there's no
Okay.
cut-off. They do stay on, and until the parents wanted to remove them, but normally they stay on with us, which we're very proud of.
And I mean, of course, people who are differently able to us are, very special beings who bring out, a certain side to people who care for them, who interact with them on a daily. In your years being a part of, the whole Lucito community, what are some of your fond memories and just things that you've learned about yourself that you never even knew?
Well, I've learned how to interact with these children because it's not easy, and it's amazing. They've got a special gift, and when you're with them, you never turn around, hey? You've got to carry on doing it all the time.
Yeah.
They are beautiful children.
Yeah.
And whatever we can do for them, we're going to do it. Definitely.
Fantastic. We're soon going to have the performance with Chopper and his band. Are they there every year? I mean,
yes. Chopper is a faithful of ours,
yeah.
and he does a lot of charity work.
Fantastic.
So that's part of his charity.
We haven't seen him on many stages in a few years or so, but I know his performances
love
are
them.
always electric.
You're going to love them.
Thank you so very much. Are you? Where can people buy tickets? Just as a last
CompuTicket.
CompuTicket.
Yeah. And they can get it at the gate, or they can buy it on the net.
For how much?
And 85 an adult, and 50 rand for up to 12, and for pensioners.
Fantastic. That's the Lucitelland Festival.
Correct.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks
it's
for
a pleasure
having us.
having you here.
Thank you.
And now we have a competition as well where viewers can stand a chance to win 2 tickets for the Lucito Festival, which runs until the 2nd of May. So tell us, I mean, you heard Naomi here mentioning some of the performers who will be on the stage. So if you do know, just tweet us. Our Twitter handle is @Trendz on SABC, and let us know who you can look forward to watching at the stage. And now, next story, Hope Desiree from Nigeria is a young self-proclaimed conscious artist. Her body of work is a fusion of women's rights activities and culture. Now, through her visual mediums of sculpture, oil painting, she depicts women countering limiting beliefs steeped in culture surrounding things like education, gender bias, and freedom of expression.
A young teen filled with dreams about her future in colors and shapes. Another young woman expresses her creativity through her braided blue hair. These are the works on display at Hope Desiree's gallery in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Desiree, a self-described conscious artist, says the focus of her work is singular: women.
Few women face a lot of challenges, discrimination, sexism, and a lot of other negative, In my paintings, I try to send a different message. I try to paint the picture of a powerful woman, a capable woman, and a beautiful woman.
At the gallery, Desiree runs a weekly skills workshop where other budding female artists come for inspiration through these colorful palettes. The sense of stewardship towards her students, she says, calls attention to the importance the role of creative art plays in changing the negative perception of women in Nigerian society. Anita Bay, one of her students, describes the experience as a mix of art and feminism.
I've learned a lot, seriously, since I came here. I've learned a lot, and I've tried to use, as a woman, to use my emotions to do some works. Most times women pass through some stuff, horrible situations, and I've learned a lot. Most times what's happening around, I just try to put it in my works and let the viewers, people to see what I'm doing, to see that we are capable of becoming the best in future.
The center of attention will just be the hair.
Desiree hopes to expand her gallery in the future and says her images of everyday Nigerian women will be appreciated well beyond the country's borders.
Hope Desiree produces paintings which cover a wide spectrum of women's issues in Nigeria. Broadly, her work reveals a social conscious message of gender equality. Many say still remains an uphill struggle here. Sophia Dengo, SABC, Abuja, Nigeria.
Oh my, fantastic artwork. Now, Translating Joburg is a brand new and unique series of informal and fun networking events that bring fashion experts, recently relocated newcomers to Johannesburg, as well as other natives for those who want to discover something new in the city or just share their passion for our urban jungle. Trendz attended one of the networking sessions this past week. Let's take a look.
Have you ever asked yourself how people cope with relocating to an unfamiliar city? The thought of not knowing where to get the best grub in town or the coolest hangout spot can be quite daunting. Hannah and Lizette have come up with a concept that puts all those fears to bed.
Translating Joburg is part of a bi-monthly series that we've set up for people that are new in town to find out a bit more about Joburg and to meet new people, but also for those Joburg natives to see Joburg through a new lens, through a different light. Joburg's really changed in the past few years, and we want people to get excited about that and get out there and explore new places, go to new restaurants, and really discover these incredible people that are doing amazing things. So I thought I would try and make it a bit easier for those new in town to find out and to get plugged into the cool stuff, whether that's fashion. The last event we had was all around craft beer and gin and wine, and the next one we've got is all around stories. And people can just mingle, and there's usually a bit of a fun game to get different people talking to each other for that first hour. And then we have a panel discussion where we grill some designers or the people that are really doing the stuff. They're living out their passion.
I'll just be chatting about Joburg and fashion and where I see it going. And for me, I think fashion in Joburg, it's so awesome because we're such a young city and there's nothing that really defines fashion in Joburg yet, and there's people who are, at the forefront of it. So it's a really exciting time.
What might come up tonight is how should the industry change? How can we make a change? It's always a tricky question because I think there's so much involved in making a fashion industry, and there's so many jobs involved, so many lifelines. And I think it's going to be really interesting to discuss that and see what positive changes we can make in our very little industry that we have.
What makes your jewelry more different than others?
Well, I believe that my jewelry is quite unique. I took what we know in South Africa, South African craft, and I've just taken it and given it that extra edge by the way we finish things with more designer finishes, and the patterns that we use and the colors we use, and we're just kind of experimenting a little bit more than the traditional Ndebele or Zulu beadwork.
The fashion edition is about showing people how Johannesburg goes about looking when it comes to fashion. So what do you have in your pieces that translates that?
What do I not have that translates that? It's very, apart from being very South African, I feel just with the colors and with the vibrancy, it's very Joburg, and it's very out there, and we're not scared to show our creativity through how we dress.
Oh, this is so cool! I definitely think Joburg people are a lot more sort of geared up to dress up and go places. It's about hustle. It's about presenting yourself in the best way possible. So I think you can tell a Joburger a mile away by the way they present themselves. Always with a bit of shoes, a little bit more polished, a little bit less laid back than perhaps Durban or Cape Town.
And of course, Trendz cannot leave without giving you the lowdown of must-have items for this winter.
I think every winter it's really important to have a really beautiful coat, something a little bit more oversized and maybe cocoon-like. That is the new silhouette, so longer and slightly oversized. I think a polo neck is really big for this winter. It just gives any outfit a very streamlined, very fashion approach. And I think a good pair of denims is always a good thing for winter. I think you can dress it up. It doesn't have to be as casual.
Fantastic initiative. And of course, remember the competition about the Lucitelland Festival. If you want to win yourself and 3 of your friends tickets to the event, tweet us on @Trendz on SABC to let us know who are some of the performers who will be performing. I mean, it's still running up until next week. That's May 2nd. Yeah, stay tuned. After the break, we're going to have Chopper in studio with his band, and he's one of the acts that'll be at the festival. Welcome back, you're watching Trendz. Now, while the equestrian sport of polo is older than recorded history, we know that its origins are in the inspirational relationship between humans and horses. The sport of kings, thanks to Vivid Luxury, is now coming to Waterfall Estate in Midrand. We chatted with Anina Malherbe, CEO of Vivid Luxury, and she promised a sensational lineup of high-goal polo, fashion, entertainment, a series of luxury experiences that will introduce the City of Gold to an unrivaled international event brought to the City of Gold by SABC in association with Lamborghini. We all know it's going to be lit.
The much-anticipated glamorous polo event hosted by Vivid Luxury is coming to Joburg. Waterfall Estate in Midrand will be the venue, where this sport of kings will be held. The social event promises a sensational lineup of high-goal polo, fashion, entertainment, and a series of luxury experiences that will introduce the City of Gold to an unrivaled international event. We chatted with Anina Malherbe, CEO of Vivid Luxury.
Today we're launching something very exciting. We are launching the first of the inaugural South Sea Johannesburg Polo Classic in association with Lamborghini and presented by Julius Baer. So it's the first event in Johannesburg, and it's happening on the 8th of May. We founded and co-owned the Verve Clicquot Masters Polo in Cape Town at Valdivia Estate 7 years ago with Valdivia Events. So we've been co-owning that event with them for 7 years now. It's been such a magnificent success. So people have been asking us for 3 years or longer now, please bring this event to Johannesburg. And we said, we'll do better than that. We'll create a new event with its own identity, and it's going to be bigger and better. So that's what we're here to do.
Summer vibes in autumn. And this is just a preview of what the glamorous polo event that is coming up in May, a first for Johannesburg, is going to look like. A-list celebrities, VIPs and socialites also attended the launch.
I think it's a great initiative for them to partner with South Africa's leading network coverage, which is SABC, and just for people to come and see some fashion, to network with people and just have a pretty good time.
I am over the moon. I'm ecstatic. Firstly, being a Durban girl, I was just saying that it's so awesome. Most of us moved to Johannesburg, so now to have that door open for us to experience this is amazing. I'm looking forward to the good food, the entertainment, the fashion. We're all about fashion, and it's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
We all go all the way out there to Cape Town to go experience the things that we could actually experience here in Johannesburg. I mean, this is so exciting. Joburg people are very fashionable, so I'm sure you're going to see a lot of fashion, a lot of glitz and glam. Obviously, we go out for it. You know, we go out in numbers, we go out in fashion. We just overdo it, but in a good way. And Cape Town are probably kind of subtle with their fashion, so I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
It's going to be May the 8th, so I think, you know, people can still go for a bit of a sort of spring to fall vibe. You know, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A fascinator would be perfect, maybe even a really fun hat. I think really anything goes. I think it's all about really just expressing you and for who you are and having fun and just enjoying yourself.
If you are in Gauteng in May, you better save the date for the Sport of Kings. You definitely don't want to miss out on all the fun, fashion, luxury cars, and of course a polo tournament.
So the event's taking place next month on Sunday the 8th of May. So obviously it's a polo event, so it's all about the polo. That will be for sure very action-packed. But there's more than just the polo. There's quite a busy day and program of events, so you'll experience various luxury experiences. So there'll be fashion, there'll be whiskey and watches, and there'll be fast cars. Lamborghini will be revealing their brand new models, 2 of them, for the first time in South Africa, so that's going to be extremely exciting. So all these luxury experiences that we'll be showcasing. Glenmorangie will do whiskey tastings, and yeah, I can go on and on. So there'll be a lot of entertainment on the day, and yeah, all Joburg's power players are sure to be there.
Hi Trendz viewers, I'm actually out of studio. Can you believe it? Well, the reason for this is that I'm at the decadent Maslow Hotel this afternoon for the launch of the inaugural SABC Johannesburg Polo Classic. Save the date, the 8th of May is the date where all roads will be heading to Waterfall Estate out in Midrand for a festive time of fine jewelry, fast cars, and of course a polo tournament. Fantastic. Now, we're all born with talent. Not many of us, though, are able to tap into it at a young age. But a young musician from Durban, Andile Joara, has been able to do this against all odds. Let's see what he's all about.
Hailing from Umlazi Township in Durban, this 19-year-old rising star is making waves on the local music scene. Andile Joara, who's better known as AJ Apple, hasn't had it easy growing up, but his love for music has given him a voice to express himself and find a sanctuary.
My name is Andile Joara. I grew up in Umlazi with my mom and aunts, 3 siblings. Apparently, they passed away at the earlier age. So from there, I started doing music to put food on my table. Because I dropped out of school, so I had nothing to do else. So I chose music because I had a voice. So I used it as to escape from reality, you know. So from there, everything was good. I started taking everything serious, you know. I lived a very confusing and destructive life that when I tell you about, some people it touches them, their heart, you know. So yeah, in 2010, I met this guy called G Songs. So we got along together, we connected, we made music, good music. The now label I'm working for, Boss Entertainment, came to Durban and approached us. I couldn't believe that I was coming to Josie, you know. I couldn't believe that they want me to be their first artist, you know. So yeah, from there, I started taking it serious, it was 2013, yeah.
Fusing isiZulu and English, his sound is one that resonates with many. AJ Apple got his big break in November 2015 when he officially signed with the music record label. The young artist shared a small sample of his talent with us.
No, yeah.
AJ's stage name isn't exactly unheard of, but the tail end of it is seemingly unusual and unique. As an up-and-comer, we wanted to know from AJ what makes him truly unique and sets him apart from the other up-and-coming artists.
I do trap duzu. I call my gender trap duzu because it's unique. The sound, it's unpredictable, you know. 1 minute you might think you're listening to house, one it's R&B, so anything goes, you know. It's a sound that me and my producer G Songs came about. We sat down and we were like, you know what, let's just come up with our own sound that not existing in Mzansi, you know. So it came and we made sure that we master it and have it right. So from there it was proper.
Joara will be performing in various locations around the country. Be sure to check him out.
Now, we've come to the end of the show, unfortunately, but it's been great. Join me again next week. The name is Refilwe Mwilwa on Trendz. We're about to have that performance by Chopper and his band. They have been waiting, and they're about to blow us away. Take it away, guys.
magumbe, 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 magumbe. Já vi dizer de antemão da sua história. Já vi dizer de antemão da sua história. Mas todo homem que anda atrás da sua tanga. Eu não sou daqueles vagabunda por lá fora. Tu és assim, sempre mais. Não tens a me amar. Tu és assim, sempre mais. Sumeto se guarde eu. Magumbe, magumbe. 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 Já vi dizer de antemão da sua história. Já vi dizer de antemão da sua história. Mas todo homem